This is your streamer Carlos. On today's video, I'm going to give you my review of episode 7 of Smallville season 1. The body sucker. So here we go, guys. I know that the title sounds weird, but I will explain to you guys why. So this episode involves obviously Clark and Pete, and I'll get to that too. So in this episode, there's a girl named Jody who's played by Amy Adams. Yes, a lot of Hollywood stars before they became stars, like Amy Adams, they appeared on Smallville, and Amy Adams is not the exception. Before she became just Giselle from Enchanted, she was Jody from Smallville High. But anyway, so Jody's father has a greenhouse slash garden outside in the backyard of his home. But the plants are infected with kryptonite, or kryptonite rock dust, little specks, but nonetheless specks. But in this case, instead of super strength or any kind of changing body, any kind of changing strength powers, for Jody's sake, for Jody's misfortune, it changes her appetite. So Jody's a little bit chubby, which is not bad. I'm chubby myself, but she's extremely obsessed with healthiness, which is good. Being healthy is good, but if you're that type of extremely obsessive over your health, that can cause some major things. In this case, for Jody, she's eating vegetables that have been infected with kryptonic dust, which makes her body lose weight rapidly, like extremely rapid, like an F1 car, but to another extreme. But at the end of every weigh-in, her stomach is growling that it's hungry, and she eventually starts binge eating. She can't stop eating. She stuffs her face, and sorry that I'm using this term, but she stuffs her face, but that's not enough. She needs another type of nutrient. Not your typical nutrients or vitamins. Her body needs body fat to keep her slender weight slender weight above or the same weight or decrease her weight. So she becomes a fat sucker. What I mean by fat, she's sucking Jody with no intention of with no bad intention of herself. She sucks the healthy fat of the human body and sucks her victim's body fat and leaves them dry. Leaves them with dry bones, with no fat content, with no fat content and no muscle mass. And tragically for Pete, he becomes Jody's next victim. At this point in the episode, Jody has eaten the whole and has sucked the fat of a deer and eaten her inside of that deer and obviously sucked the fat, and he has sucked the fat of a former bully of hers. And now her stomach is craving more and more body mass / fat to keep the way her body the same or increase the skinniness of herself. And for Pete's misfortune, Pete invites Jody to prom or a cotillion, or I can't remember if it's prom, but I think it's prom or at prom / homecoming, or I you can check me on that, guys. But anyway, Clark is walking near the bleachers. When he hears somebody asking for help, but asking for help in a soft tone, in a low tone of voice, way lower than a normal low tone of voice. So Clark goes to the back of the bleachers, and obviously he goes back to the pipes, back to the pipe area of the stadium, and he uses his X-ray vision that we know and love, and he sees that in fact there's someone inside of one of the stadium pipe rooms, and guess what? It's Jody's former bully, former / bully that bullied her, and he doesn't have any fat on him. His face is drooped down. His body mass has been sucked dry by by Jody, and then Clark realizes, Pete. Pete. So 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 basically, Clark goes to Jody's house to stop her, and and Jody knocks Pete down, but before she could suck the fat and Pete's body mass out of him, out of Pete, Clark shows up, and there's a fight. At the end of the fight, Jody's knocked down, and she is sent to Bellary, which is a rehab center for uh the people that have been infected by the meteor shower that brought us Clark to Smallville, or to be more specific, Kal-El to Smallville. And obviously when we hear something from Clark himself about Jody, even though we don't see Jody actually getting picked up by Belle Reeve's staff. Clark says to Pete, Jody's going to be okay. Jody's going to Belle Reve, and she's going to be okay. And obviously, Clark tells this to his mom and dad, Mr. Kent and Mrs. Kent. And with that, guys, let me know. And with that, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like, and let me know in the comments if you want to. What is the craziest date that you have been asked to go to for prom, or any kind of date that doesn't involve prom or homecoming or winter formal. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Again, remember to leave a like, and until we Kal-El again. Bye.